Good morning. Good morning. Welcome back to Crypto Warehouse. I am Mike. It is another day closer to Christmas. 6 days to go. It's the 19th of December, 11 o'clock, and another busy show. We're back at 43,000. Life is good in the land of Bitcoin. And today we are going to ask the question, when $50,000? We're going to go through the BlackRock ETF SEC conversation. We're going to go through Michael Saylor's 10x. We're going to have a look at ADA. We're then going to do, yesterday we covered an article, so we didn't cover an article, we covered a piece where I took you through DeFi Llama and showed you how you can keep track of chains, transactions and volumes and things like that. A little bit of an education piece. Well, today I'm going to show you the XRP BTC chart. We don't normally do this on the stream. What we normally do is do Bitcoin USD, Ethereum USD. Today we're going to have a look at XRP and Bitcoin. And the reason is I've been trying to find a reason why or when XRP is going to move. And I think I've done it. So we're going to go through that. We're going to go through Sandbox's move. They've moved from Ethereum to Polygon. Brilliant move. We're going to talk about that. Then we're going to talk about some NFT news, just because we've not done any NFT news for a while. And then we're going to try and have a quiz at the end where we try and give away some free crypto. So first of all, a few shout outs. As always, Kishan, our OG paid member. Good morning, Kishan. I hope you are well. Good morning, Hidden Agendas. I hope you are well too. Remember, wherever you are watching, say hello in the chat. Let me know what you're doing. Are you drinking a cup of coffee? Are you getting ready for bed? Let me know where you are and what you're up to. The chat is working this morning, so I can see a few people. Crypto Sky is in here. I can't pronounce. Nadia is trying to spam us as always. User 52, good morning. User 62, good morning. Barley, Grey Wolf, good morning to you, sir. Good morning to you, sir. The reason I say hello to a lot of you guys is a lot of people don't know whether this is a recorded stream or not. Fran, good morning. So I'm saying hello just to prove I am here. It's 11:02. This isn't a pre-recorded stream. It's not a YouTube stream. This is us live. We try and come to you every day at 11 o'clock. Unfortunately, tomorrow it is a Christmas meal. And the Christmas meal, I think, starts at 12. So I'm going to have to either do the stream at 10 o'clock in the morning, where I'll be very tired, or after the Christmas party, which means I could be incredibly tired. So I'm going to work that out. But we do stream every day, so make sure you follow us. That the best ways to help Crypto Warehouse is to follow us, and also, most importantly as well, to smash the like button. They help us out a great deal, because when we show people the channel metrics and things like that, we can show them that we have so many followers and so many likes and all those kind of things. It just helps advertisers that come to us understand that we're not just a beginner channel. We've been around for a little while. So before we begin, let's go through the markets very quickly. We've recovered most of the market cap. We're above 1.6 trillion. Volume has gone back up. Bitcoin dominance has gone back up. Ethereum dominance doesn't seem to do anything these days. Bitcoin is sitting at 43,000. For those of you in my Telegram group, you will have known about the channel. We're going to go through it later. I said we needed to get back above 42,000. We did. I then said we needed to get above 42,300. About 45 minutes later, we did. So we've broken back into the channel. We're going to go over that on the stream. What is winning and what is losing? Say is up or C is up. They are supposed to be, or rumored, should I say, rumored to be signing a deal with Yuga Labs. That could be the reason for the 42% pump. We don't know. Woo is up. Injective is absolutely ripping up trees right now. Is Injective going to get to a top 20 coin in the very near future? I would probably argue yes, with a minor retracement. VeChain is up. Immutable X. Sats, I'm not a fan of this token whatsoever. I did review it for the members only area. I'm not a fan, and it's just not something I can get my teeth into. Blur, there's lots and lots of gainers today. Blur, Fetch, Celestia. Celestia, I've been trading. I sold it at 14.50. I bought back in yesterday at 11.90, I think, and I'm probably going to sell it again when it gets towards 14, and I'm just going to keep flipping Celestia. I'm up about 60% so far on that. I don't believe this price is legitimate. There's a lot of reasons to buy Celestia and stake it, mainly to do with airdrops, so I think that the price is slightly overhyped. However, that doesn't mean you can't do short-term trading on it. And as I've said, ever since it was $9 and $10, if you've bought Celestia at $2 or $3, just take some profits off the table. Keep that money in the bag for when there is the next few red days that might come in the future. Order is up. There's too many to go through. Are we going to see the stable coins in the bottom? We are indeed. So you know it's a very good day when the stable coins make up the majority of the losers on the day. There's only one down, which is Maker. Something happened with Maker yesterday or the day before. I can't remember exactly what it was, but that could be the only reason they're down there. Everything else is a stable coin because nothing has dropped. This is a proper green day. So we've got two bits of news about Bitcoin, and we're going to do the Bitcoin charts. So let's start off. Oh, before I forget, one very important thing to tell you about. Bonk. Not a fan of the project. Told you lots of people were going to be buying it up here, and we're going to get stung. And at the time, I drew this lovely orange line here. And as you can see, obviously it went up a little bit here. As you can see, we are at the price I predicted for Bonk, whatever day it was that I covered Bonk. So I'm not saying I've got a crystal ball. I'm just saying if you want to know where the price of Bonk is going to go, then look no further. So let's move on very quickly and have a look at the BlackRock news, because we're going to switch between content as the years go by and as the months go by, depending on what is important to talk about. So during the beginnings of the bull run, it's important to talk about the economy. It's important to talk about Bitcoin and the major layer ones. If you remember back in the summer, we were concentrating mainly on meme coins because there was an awful lot of meme coins coming around. There was a lot of money to be made out of meme coins because the market was dead. We've then recently had the airdrop winter, I suppose you could call it, where we've been covering Python projects like that. But we're still going to try and stick to Bitcoin. I think we're going to be covering Bitcoin mainly between now and at least April, because we've got to get through the halving, we've got to get through the ETFs, and then probably from April onwards, we're going to start to look towards altcoins. You know, what other layer ones and layer twos, utility tokens, which should we start looking into? And also you have to bear in mind, because we stream on multiple platforms, I can't sit here and give you non-exchange listed tokens to look at, but we will be covering them on our channel. So for example, we've covered Flocky, we've covered Snek, we've covered Ponk, we've covered lots of altcoins in the last couple of months on our channel, but we can't talk about them on the stream because those tokens in a lot of cases are not listed on the exchanges and we have to play by the rules. So BlackRock bows to the SEC pressure on Bitcoin ETF cash creations model. So to cut a long story, a very long story, very short, this is how the money flows in and out of the ETF. Does it come in cash and the ETF buy the Bitcoin? How are redemptions handled? Are redemptions handled in cash or in Bitcoin? Remember, the point where the investment becomes cash is a taxable event. And the SEC, quite rightly in my opinion, have been saying that needs to be a cash transaction. So if you put in $10,000 into Bitcoin, the ETF, and you get $15,000 in cash out, there's a taxable event there where you'll have to probably pay $1,500 on that transaction. And that's fair. What they don't want to do is you put in $10,000 and get $15,000 worth of Bitcoin back. That's what they're trying to avoid. There's lots of other intricacies to that, but they want all of the ETFs to play by the same book. And I have been saying on here, that is completely fine by me. That's how we should be doing it. So Valkyrie, ARK Invest, BlackRock, they should all be using the same rules. So BlackRock, I think what's happened is BlackRock have come to an agreement with the SEC and said, listen, we will do it your way on the proviso that you approve the Bitcoin ETFs. Now, there's been a pump, 5% pump. Some people are suggesting that the ETF is going to be approved before Christmas. That's this week. I'm not in that camp. I don't believe that at all. If it happens, all well and good, but my money is on the beginning of January, and it always has been, because that's the deadline for the SEC, and Gary Gensler will push it as far as possible. Naveen, good morning. Naveen, welcome to the stream. Thanks for coming. Hope you are well, sir. Make sure to like and subscribe, and check out our airdrop videos that are over there as well. So the updated filing shows BlackRock giving in to the SEC's demands to exclude in-kind creations and redemptions, at least initially. These transactions will take place in exchange for cash. Why there is an issue with this, I don't know. This is how it should work. BlackRock had originally preferred using an in-kind model, meeting with SEC staff recently to demonstrate how both methodologies could work. The asset manager sees benefits to in-kind redemptions as tax efficiency. You see, I don't agree. I don't agree with that at all. I don't think there should be an opt-out for you paying tax. If you buy shares in a company through a stock exchange and you sell those shares at a profit or at a loss, it's a taxable event. It's a write-off or it's taxable. Why should the Bitcoin ETFs be any different? It shouldn't be, in my opinion. Hidden agendas, where is the market going today? Ideally, we want to hold 43,000, but we're going to get onto the charts in a minute. So bullish news from the SEC and from BlackRock. I think BlackRock have probably come to an arrangement with the SEC. As I've said, I can't see any other reason for them bowing to pressure. They own the SEC. They own the Fed. So here we are. Yesterday, we said we have broken below our band. Now look how far back this has gone. We went all the way back to October with this band. So hidden agendas, you're asking where we're going to go today. Let's bring this up. So we broke below here. And I was saying, have we now broken this channel, and are we going to come down? So I thought, you know what I'm going to do last night? I'm going to go and listen to some crypto influencers and where they think the market's going to go. And they all fall into the same boat, which is they all believe that we are going to do this and end up at $35,000. I can't see it. I can't see it at all. And the reason I can't see it is we are probably less than 10 working days away from the Bitcoin ETF approval. So which is 2 weeks, 2 working weeks away. Because obviously everything closes down for Christmas. It'll be open for a couple of days so between Christmas and New Year, but not a lot. So we don't have a lot of time left. So this blue line here, this is our level of resistance. As you can see, I'm not going to call that a Bart Simpson before anybody asks, but we've bounced off this line a couple of times at 44,000. Yeah, it's not that. I don't think it is going to go that low, Naveen. I don't think that at all. I think what's going to happen is I think we're going to edge up towards this 44,000 range. And I think the slightest bit of good news, it's like a tinderbox for me, Bitcoin is like a tinderbox. We have all of this potential up here. This is all speculation about the Bitcoin ETF. I think if we got any kind of news, we are going straight to 44,000. And then, as I said at the start, we have got previous price action. I'm actually going to move the blue line for you here just to show you what I mean. So we have different price targets. And this one here, which is previous resistance and support around here. Okay, we're not going to look at that. We're not going to spend too long on that. Now, we're going to go back up to 48,000 at some point in the very near future. Maybe not today, but soon. Now, Where does that 48,000 coincide with on our channel that we've been drawing? Because remember, we've been bouncing around in this channel. Now, look what happens every time we come down. We come back up. So naturally, through the process of waiting, the 48,000 level is within our channel. So our channel, if you look, if I just extend that out a little bit now, to be like that. Okay. Our channel is now touching 48,000 right there. So we could come up and not break out of our channel, and that has happened here. So if you look at this and we drag this across, that would put 50,000. That would put 50,000 by December the 31st. 48,000. Lillian sells Texas Punk on Solana. Believe it or not, you've probably seen them, Lillian, but I've made 2 videos now about Punk. One about the actual coin itself and one about the NFT. I've got some news coming out today about Punk, and that is there has been a tweet from Punk stating that the snapshot has been done for all the holders of the NFT. You now need to list all of your NFTs between now and December the 20th, at which point there'll be a second snapshot, and the people who've listed their Punk NFTs by December the 20th will get an additional airdrop. So I do know all about it, Lillian, and I am going to be covering it in another video today. So the issue is that I can't talk too much about Punk because I'm currently streaming on multiple exchanges that don't list Punk. So I can't do too much on it. But thank you for the comment. So now we know where we think we're going to be at the end of the year. We think we're going to be at $50,000. Michael Saylor has come out and dropped this bombshell, as he always does. If Bitcoin is not going to zero, where has my mouse gone? There we go. If Bitcoin is not going to zero, it's going to 1 million. Believes global inflation will be a driver of BTC adoption. Absolutely correct. Don't forget to like and subscribe to the channel as well, please, Lillian, and don't miss out. We're going to also do a video about the Jupiter airdrop, which I haven't done yet. So there's going to be a Jupiter video coming out as well today. So we're not going to read too much into this, and we have covered this $1 million price in the past. Michael Saylor, as we know, MicroStrategy, massively invested into Bitcoin. They hold 120,000, 150,000 Bitcoin. They've been buying it all the way through the bear market, and he is possibly going to be the first trillionaire. I think people have been saying this. It's either the first trillionaire or the first trillionaire owner of a business. I can't remember which way around it is. It doesn't really matter. He's going to be worth an awful lot of money. Now, the issue for me is, and I say this a lot, we need to have some warnings here. And those warnings are Bitcoin is not going to go to $1 million tomorrow. So when you buy crypto, whether you buy ADA, whether you buy Solana, whether you buy Bitcoin, and somebody says to you, Bitcoin is going to be worth $1 million, people will mortgage their house at $45,000 and buy, I don't know, 10 Bitcoin. Then Bitcoin will go to 200,000, 300, 400,000 in the next bull run, which is great, but they won't sell. Then the price will come crashing down, maybe we hit the previous all-time high of $69,000. That could be the bottom of the next bear market. So what's happened is he's got his 10 Bitcoin. He's held it all the way up. He thinks he's going to get $1 million Bitcoin in the next bull run. And then it doesn't happen, and he's stuck holding Bitcoin. And this is the issue that happened in the last bull run. I've been telling everybody to buy ADA, Solana, XRP, not financial advice, Chainlink, Quant. I've been telling you to buy these tokens since $18,000 Bitcoin. Prepare, pack your bags for the bull run. Now, That's only half the battle. When you've packed your bags and you go to the moon, unpack the goddamn bags. Don't hold and hold and hold. We're at the stage now where ADA goes to $8, for example. You are going to be seeing articles by people saying that ADA is going to go to $50. So you're not going to sell. You're going to hold that ADA and you're not going to sell. It'll go to $9. You're going to hold that ADA. And then we hit the peak, we hit the blow off top, whatever it is, Bitcoin at $250,000, ADA gets to $9.50. Then you don't sell. And then what happens is you hold it all the way down until you run out of steam and run out of energy and you sell your ADA at $3. Because you've missed the gains by FOMOing in and holding, because you don't want to miss out on what these people say. It's going to go to $1 million, possibly in 2029 or 2033. Listen, if it goes to $1 million in January, I'm going to be the first person to sell my Bitcoin. I will push everybody out the way. I will sell all of my Bitcoin for $1 million. It's not going to happen. The sheer amount of money that needs to come into crypto to move the market cap to $1 billion is astronomical, and it's not going to happen. That would be about 5% of the total worldwide market. I think gold is currently 5% of all the assets in the world. So Bitcoin is going to have to move to replace gold and catch up with gold. Now, he talks about inflation. Fair enough. Inflation runs at, say, 5% a year. So naturally, if we said today Bitcoin is $40,000, naturally, Bitcoin will go up by $2,000 in the next year because of inflation. I get that element to it. So potentially, it won't need to hit $1 million at today's inflation index. It might need to hit $700,000 in 10 years' time to get that inflation boost plus the second halving that's coming up. So although it's great, Michael Saylor and lots of people like him, very clever people, far cleverer than me, they're all backing Bitcoin. I'm always going to tell you, take these price predictions with a pinch of salt, because they're dangerous to newcomers to crypto. They're dangerous to you listening and watching, because you're going to come in and think he's talking about the price of Bitcoin in December next year, and you might over leverage yourself. You might put all of your net worth into Bitcoin, and for me, that's a bad thing to do. It's a bad thing to do. If you've got $10,000 in savings, you shouldn't really be putting more than $1,000 or $2,000 into crypto. I know that sounds crazy because we all know we're going to go on a bull run, but I've only got about 10% of my net worth in crypto. The rest of it is in property and it's in stocks and shares. And I do this for a living. And even then, I'm not fully all in at crypto because things can happen. So just be careful and temper your excitement about crypto. Especially when you see outlandish prices. This is why I bring them up, and most of the time I'll poo-poo them. I'll give you a more honest, personal opinion of where it's going to go. Listen, I could be wrong. We could hit $1 million. I think it's very unlikely. I think $200,000 or $300,000 Bitcoin in the next bull run is going to be life-changing wealth for people. That's a 5x from where we are today, 6x from where we are today. If you bought Bitcoin at $15,000, at $20,000 and $25,000, like we've been saying, you're going to 15x. So just bear that in mind. And if you're late to the party and you think it's too late to buy Bitcoin or it's too late to buy Ethereum, if I said to you, give me $1,000 today, and in 2 years' time I'm going to give you $6,000, you'd bite my hand off. So just because you're only going to do a 5x or a 6x on Bitcoin does not mean you've missed the boat. It's the same train that everybody's getting on and getting off. There are people that get on the train, got on the train at $1,000, sold at $15,000. They then bought back in at $30,000 and sold at $65,000. They might have bought back in at $35,000. It's the same train that everybody gets on and off. You should not worry about other people's portfolios. You should focus solely on making yourself independently and financially secure. That's what your aim is. Don't worry about the price that I bought Bitcoin at. Don't worry about the price that Michael Saylor bought Bitcoin at. Worry about your financial freedom. That's what's bothered, because you're always going to have envy. There's always going to be somebody that has a huge bag of Bitcoin that they bought at $100 a Bitcoin. Great, good for them. Don't envy them, because that's, I believe it's a cardinal sin. Don't envy them. Think to yourself, if I buy Bitcoin today at $45,000 and it goes to $150,000, I will have turned my investment into a fourfold investment. And then you sell it. And then you hold on to, say, your $4,000. You hold it on to the bottom of the bear market and you put that $4,000 in again. And then potentially that does another 6x. And then you've turned your $4,000 into $24,000. And over a period of 6 years, you've turned $1,000 into $24,000. That's how it has to be. You need patience. It's not a get-rich-quick scheme unless you decide to run off and start to buy every meme coin printed into existence. Then yes, you might get lucky and get one meme coin. So, Naveen, yeah, I know. Sometimes it's hard. What I would suggest you is go and watch some crypto streamers. Join some of the exchanges. Go and watch their streams, because they give away crypto whilst they're streaming. So you'll get free money. And then go and check out the airdrops. So the Phantom Wallet airdrop, go and look at that one. Go and follow the directions we've put in the video. And then in a year or two's time, you should get some airdrops. Also, some of the platforms do quizzes where if you complete the quiz, you can get free money, $5 and $10 here. So go and look at stuff like that. You can make money from zero in crypto. It just requires a little bit of time and research. The Pi airdrop, for example, sorry, not Pi airdrop, the Punk NFT that came out this week, that's going to airdrop free Punk. Might only be $1, might only be $5, might only be $10, but it's free. It doesn't cost you anything. So I'm never going to recommend anything where you have to fork out money, where you have to pay out money, because that's not what this channel is ever going to do. I'll tell you what coins I'll buy, but I'm never going to tell you, oh, go and buy this for $100 or go and buy this for $500. That's not how it works. So Cardano, price dip masks booming on-chain activity. So as you'll know, if you've been watching me for a long time, the two coins that make no sense to me at the minute are XRP and Cardano. And lucky for you, I'm covering them both in today's stream. Cardano is still at 55 to 60 cents. I believe, if I bring the chart up, we have gone back over 60 cents today. Let me have a look. I think we're at 60 cents or 59.9 or something like that. Where are we? 59. We're at 60 cents. Okay. So, go away. Now, again, Cardano, I don't want to harp on about this. We have talked about Cardano for this entire period down here, and that is just the second part of this year. And we've been saying that Cardano at 40 cents, at 35 cents is an absolute steal. We're at 60 cents today. I'm going to say the same thing again. 60 cent Cardano is an absolute steal. Yes, we could come back down and retest. Maybe we come all the way down here. I doubt it very much. Let's look for a reasonable level. So if you look here, 54 cents. So look at what's happened with Cardano at 54 cents. We have tested it 4 times in 2 weeks. week and a half. So have we found support at 55 cents? I would argue we have. So where next for Cardano? Well, if you look at what's happened, come down, pop up, come down, test. Next target for me, as always with Cardano, I've drawn them on here, 77 and 80 cents for Cardano. That's my price prediction. And this article is hopefully going to explain why I am so bullish. Cardano remains in a short, medium and long-term uptrend across all time frames. The momentum has possibly peaked for now, as evidenced by declining MACD histogram bars. This suggests bullish momentum may be weakening in the near term. We've already seen that. Key support and resistance levels are at 46 and the 65 cent resistance level. Upwards towards 75 cents is likely, and a pullback towards 46. So let me just go and check. Yeah, I mean, I don't know. I don't know about 46. We've tested this line here at 54 cents. If we did come down, then naturally the next level down would be 46 cents. But I think we've got good support. And this trend that's been going on for quite a few days now, we followed it. We kind of did this. So I don't know. I'm going to call that the Loch Ness move, we'll call that one. So, I mean, yeah, I mean, he could be right. He's a trader and I'm not. I just think that 55 cents is a good level of support for us. Beyond price action, Cardano has seen extremely robust growth in decentralized activity and TVL. According to DeFi Llama, remember we covered DeFi Llama yesterday. The TVL has gone up 180% in recent months, reaching 431 million. This is a trick, by the way. This is a trick. Remember that if you lock Cardano and you have $1 million of Cardano at $1, and then you have, so that's 1 million Cardano, and then the price of Cardano goes to $3, then that suddenly becomes a $3 million TVL, which would look like a 3x, but it's the same number of Cardano that have been locked. So if you look at 180% in recent months, look at the price action. It's gone from 36 to 60. Well, that alone is a 60% rise, 66% rise in that time. So don't, like for like, how many Cardano are locked away? That's the question you want. Has it gone from 1 million Cardano locked to 2 million Cardano? That's what we should be measuring in. When you measure in dollars, you give a fake impression of how well a project does. If Ethereum doubles in price, people will say, oh, the TVL has gone up 100% in recent months. Yes, because the value of Ethereum has gone up. That's the entire point of it. So now the other thing about Cardano is it's starting to grow its own kind of internal economy. So a chain needs adoption and it needs utility. So Cardano, it has meme coins, it has SNEC, which is the biggest one right now. It has DeFi platforms that it didn't have before the last major upgrade. It now has a burgeoning NFT community. So there's lots and lots going for Cardano, but the price action just doesn't move. It doesn't move. It's really, really strange. So for me, I am still very bullish on Cardano. I think, again, if we can get to 80 cents by the end of the year, even 77 cents, if we can get to that range now, and if we draw this line a bit further, everything is converging, by the way, towards the end of this year. I don't know if you've noticed, but potentially we could have a $50,000 Bitcoin by the end of the year. Based on this chart, we should be at nearly 80 cents by the end of this year. And I think an 80 cent Cardano, I think a $50,000 Bitcoin, I think they are both on the books. And again, I could be wrong. I could be completely wrong. But I like to kind of, when we're in this stage of the market, I like to be fairly positive. Now, we've got 11 minutes left. We're not doing bad. I haven't dropped any boxes yet, have I? Good reminder, 1 second. Let me very quickly drop a comment to win box. Okay, so all you need to do to claim that is, I think you just need to enter it in chat. There we go. So, what we're going to do now is we're not going to read an article. I'm going to show you another way There we go. I'm going to show you another way you can read charts. And so I'm not going to spend too long on this, but I just want to give people an indication of there are other ways to read the crypto charts. So a lot of the time on this channel, we look at, as I said at the start of the show, Bitcoin US dollar, Ethereum US dollar, Solana US dollar. There are other ways to do it, and one of those is to look at the actual pairs themselves. So XRP Bitcoin chart. How many XRP do you need to buy Bitcoin? What is the value of XRP against Bitcoin? You can do this for any coin. Solana, Ethereum is a good one. I'll show you Ethereum in a minute. Now, what we've got here is we have this beautiful pattern of XRP losing value against Bitcoin. But then also, if we just use the same line for a second, you will see that we also have the potential here. I'm really bad at drawing. It's a good idea I'm not here. So if we take the bottom to the top of the XRP Bitcoin chart, what we see is a pattern. It comes up. I mean, I don't want to argue that it's putting in lower highs and higher lows, but okay, let's just use that for a second. What you'll see is the valuation of XRP loses against Bitcoin. Then there is a massive correction. It loses against Bitcoin, massive correction. Now look at what we have right now. XRP valuation has come straight back down to touch this line. So what do we think, all things being equal, what do we think is going to happen now? XRP, in my opinion, should have some correction to the upside against Bitcoin. Now, I'm not saying, and it's very difficult to explain this because we don't know what the price of Bitcoin is going to be. And it's fractions as well. So you have to look at and say, XRP is going to outperform Bitcoin in theory over a very short space of time. If we look at the past, over a very short space of time, we see these kind of God candles, don't we, that go straight up like this. Now that God candle, believe it or not, is the same size every time. So if we did that somewhere about here, and you calculate the value of where we are now, we are going to potentially increase the value of XRP against Bitcoin by 60%, roughly. Then you know at some point XRP is going to rip. And I think XRP is going to rip. But it's going to rip by 60% against Bitcoin, not 60% against the dollar. So a 60% increase in XRP against the dollar, for example, right now, would put us at $1.95. Now, what's interesting about that, if we go back, and we're all about numbers on this channel, if we go back to the previous spike up. So we just said 95 cents. Look where we hit when the news came in about the SEC approval. It was 94 cents. We've just said that XRP against the dollar, if it went up 60%, would go to 95 cents. So do we think it's unreasonable if Bitcoin doesn't change in value for the next couple of weeks? Do you think it's unreasonable to say that XRP could pump by 60% in the next few weeks? I don't, because we're looking at patterns now. It's not conjecture, it's not my opinion. We're just looking at what the charts say. The charts say that we are due a pump against Bitcoin. I've lost the chart now, it doesn't really matter. So what I want you to take away from that is, so yesterday I looked at DeFi Llama because that's a place you can go and look at to get information about lots of different things. Looking at the different chains, that's what I was going to show you. I was going to show you the Ethereum Bitcoin pair as well. That's something else you can look at because it gives you a different perspective, and that's what we try and do. We try and give you a different perspective on things. If my computer worked any slower, I might actually just put this into retirement. So this is the Ethereum Bitcoin chart. Again, look at where Ethereum has been against Bitcoin all year. So what does this mean? This means that if you'd have held Bitcoin all year and not held Ethereum, you would have outperformed Ethereum all year. So back here at this point, you could get, let's pick this level because it's an easier number. So you could get 12.5 Ethereum would have bought you 1 Bitcoin at this point here. So at this point here, you could have bought 12.5 Ethereum for 1 Bitcoin. We're now down here where you need almost, let's call it 19. At this point here, you need 19 Ethereum to buy 1 Bitcoin. So look at the performance and then reverse it and say, if you'd have held Bitcoin and sell your Bitcoin today, you would get 19 Ethereum compared to getting 12.5 Ethereum in August last year. That is a huge difference. That is almost 50% more Ethereum for your Bitcoin. So this is always good to see how alts perform against Bitcoin. Now I'm going to give you an example at the other end, and then I'm not going to do any more on this. Look at Solana. So Solana against Bitcoin. Oops. So in the bull run, Solana didn't do too badly. It came back up. It couldn't break resistance against Bitcoin. Came back down, struggled. It's broken, let's call it the Bitcoin support band. So Solana has broken out against Bitcoin, which means that at this point here, if you sold all of your Solana for Bitcoin, you would have got a fraction of what you would be getting today because the price of Solana has outperformed. Another interesting point about this is that this amount of Solana per Bitcoin coincides with the amount of Bitcoin you got for Solana when the FTX crash happened. So this is when the FTX crash happened, right there. And we spent an entire year, I don't know why I've drawn a smiley face, it certainly wasn't a smiley face. We spent an entire year under the Bitcoin support band, and now we've broken out. As I said, everyone looks at Solana now thinking it's not going to go any higher. We're only back against Bitcoin where we were November last year. We've only recovered. That's all we've done. We've recovered. So just bear in mind that this is a good chart to use to see how you could trade your alts, because a lot of traders, and I said this yesterday about Solana as well, a lot of traders train to USDC, but a lot of clever traders trade against Bitcoin and Ethereum. So if they've bought altcoins on the Ethereum chain, or Bonk on the Solana network, they will sell Bonk to Solana and then buy Bonk with Solana, and it increases the buying and selling of that coin. Whereas other people on exchanges, for example, they will buy and sell against USDC, and that's a different mindset. Because if you bought and sold against USDC, you would gain and lose against a different pairing. And a lot of people don't want to use the Bitcoin as their base. But think of it this way. If you miss the pump because you're in USDC, you've missed it on all of crypto. You're not on the train at all. Whereas if you trade against Bitcoin or Ethereum or Solana, you're still on a train. So if there is a 100% pump in crypto and you've gone to the safety of Bitcoin, you get the 100% of that gain. Whereas if you go to USDC or USDT, you don't get a single cent of that gain. So that's why it's good to trade between two cryptos rather than trading between crypto and fiat. Now, we have pretty much overrun again. So we're going to cover one article, which is the Shifting Sand article, because it's big news. And it's big news, and it's been a long time coming, and it's what we've been calling for on this channel. We've been saying Ethereum is the wrong chain to be running games on. It's the wrong chain to be running NFT projects on. It's the wrong chain for entertainment. And Sandbox has now moved to Polygon from Ethereum. What does that mean? It means, again, should we go and look at the chart of Sand? This should have moved the price of Sand. Should. And if it hasn't, then we're early. Okay, so it hasn't yet. So this is a potential buy. Again, not financial advice. I'm not giving you financial opinion. I'm just saying that we have moved. See, we're at 40 cents here. We're at 50 cents today. So it's only gone up 20%. But this is game changing for Sand. The Sandbox, which is a metaverse, for those of you that don't know, its native token is called Sand, is now powered by the Polygon blockchain, which means it's cheaper for minting, it's cheaper for transacting, it's cheaper for everything. We said the same thing a few days ago about Gala. Why is Gala on Ethereum? Why is it an ERC20 token? Yes, all the liquidity is there, but move to a layer 2. Move to Polygon, move to, is it Arbitrum or OP, one of those. Move away from the main chain. Arbitrum for me is really, really quick, by the way. Arbitrum 1 is very, very good. I've been using it in the last couple of weeks. I'm very impressed. So Sandbox has moved here. Highlighting its dedication to becoming more affordable and seamless, the platform is committing itself to covering up to 10 transaction costs per user every month. So 10 free transactions a month. Even better. What's more, as an additional celebration of the chain switch, the Sandbox Marketplace is unveiling over 100 new digital artworks, each artistic endeavour designed by 30 artists who are part of the Sandbox Creator Fund, boasts a unique style like no other. I mean, again, this is massive news, and again, I am not saying buy Sand. That's not the point of this article. I'm covering it because I want all of the AAA games and I want all of the metaverses to be on affordable platforms. There was a discussion yesterday about Star Atlas, and I kind of put my 2 pennies in, and what we need to do is find a happy medium between Web3 and Web2. So a gamer comes and plays Call of Duty, they pay $45, $60, and they get a character and a gun and a skin and some money, and they play the game. Fortnite, same thing. Pay $30. It's a free-to-play game, I know, but you can pay $30. You can get your season pass. Comes with loads of goodies. When you come to a Web3 game like Sandbox, and Star Atlas was the example I was using, When you come to Star Atlas, when you're a Web 2 gamer, you expect to see Web 2 game things, and that is a starter pack. So if I'm going to come to Sandbox, I want to be able to configure my character, get a free pet NFT, get a free bag of sand tokens to spend, and then I want some kind of intro. I want some gameplay that allows me to understand the game. Star Atlas is the same thing. You come to the game, it's a space game, I want a spaceship, I want a skin, I want some Star Atlas tokens, I want some weapon modifications, and I want a beginner's guide that I can play and fly around and practice and learn how to play the game. You can't do that on Ethereum because every transaction costs you £1 of flesh. You need to move to a chain where it's costing you a cent, or it's not costing you anything because you can't see it. So if you're a gamer, I want you to give me 10 sand tokens, but I want every transaction to be 0.01, so I don't even notice that I'm paying for it. That's where we need to get to, because Web 2 gamers, we have to treat them like they are a new audience, and we need to move a little bit towards the center so we can bring them in and get them hooked. Once they're hooked, once gamers understand ownership, everybody watching this now understands ownership. You own your tokens. You can have a non-custodial wallet. You can have a ledger. You own your tokens. Nobody in the world can take those tokens off you other than physically taking it off you. It's your money in your wallet and you control it. Gamers need to understand that their characters, skins, cars, ships, whatever they've got, it's their ownership that they can buy and sell as they choose, because it's no longer part of the game. And that's the sea change that we haven't got to, because gamers have been bred to pay season after season for new characters, new skins, whatever. We need to move them to Sandbox. We need to give them a battle royale game. We need to give them a gun and a skin and say, off you go. And we need to take all the best bits from Web 2 and put it into what we do in crypto, because that's how we win. That is how we win. If you joined a boxing club and that boxing club put you in a ring with a semi-professional boxer and he just battered you for 5 minutes solid, you're never going to box again. You're never going to go back to the gym if you're put with a bodybuilder that laughs at you every time you try and lift some weights. You don't need that, because you've taken the courage to go to the boxing ring. You've taken the courage to go to the gym. When you get there, you need to be shown a happy face, someone that's going to take you in, put their arm around you and show you how it works. And then when you get hooked, you become a better boxer, you get fitter, you change your life around it. Gaming needs to take all of that, wrap it up and present it on a purple velvet cushion to Web 2 gamers, because the second they understand what Sandbox and Decentraland and Star Atlas can do for them, they will bring all of their friends over and we will have 6 million gamers overnight. Absolutely guaranteed. And that's one of the first. The adoption comes from gaming, comes from finance, yes, it comes from gaming and getting people into gaming. We are not going to get housewives and house husbands shopping in the metaverse. We're going to get gamers, and those gamers will grow up and then they will use the metaverse for lots of other things, education, going to the cinema, whatever else it might be. So we need to be careful with how we bring them in. Now we're going to bring up the crypto charts and we're going to say goodbye to one of our channels. When we come back, we're going to do the quiz. So if you give me 30 seconds, I'm going to pause the stream. If you are watching somewhere that's about to be turned off, please like and subscribe to the channel. We're going to be streaming every day over Christmas as well. Christmas Day, Boxing Day, New Year's Day. We're going to do a stream. Don't know what times yet, but we are going to do a stream. And for the rest of you on exchanges, bear with me for 30 seconds and I will be back.